Imagine having a personal assistant who can generate creative content, provide instant customer support, and even help with technical issues, all at your fingertips. In today's episode, we're diving into the world of AI and the tools that are revolutionizing how we approach business and personal tasks. Stay tuned as I explore how AI can make your life easier, more productive, and infinitely more efficient. Hey there, gorgeous, and welcome to the Influence Over 40 podcast. I'm your host, Annie Kilko, and this is your go-to podcast for navigating the empty nest era with confidence and entrepreneurial spirit. I'm that crazy dog mama adjusting to life after kids and quite honestly, still trying to figure out what I want to do for a living. I'm a former boutique owner and seasoned mompreneur, and this show is dedicated to empowering women just like me, over 40, to embrace their unique journeys and thrive in the digital age. Join me for inspiring discussions on confidence building tips, mindset work, social media strategies, and how to be successful as an introvert and essential business tools. I'll also give you the real scoop on whether I think the latest and greatest digital way to make money is the real deal or a huge waste of time and dollars. Whether you're looking to reinvent yourself or take your business to new heights, I'm here to help you chase your dreams and be unapologetically and authentically yourself online. Follow the Influence Over 40 podcast and don't miss out on all the valuable tips and tools to make your business journey and 2.0 era easier. Welcome back, babes. I'm so glad you tuned in because today I'm talking about something that I absolutely love, AI. And to be more specific, ChatGPT and Gemini. Now, I know, don't freak out. They're not taking over the world anytime soon, but they are amazing. And if you don't know anything about it, this episode is for you. So for those of you that are new to AI, let me just tell you a little bit about both of these and how I use them. So unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure that you've heard of ChatGPT, but you may not be as familiar with Google's version, which is called Gemini. Now, from the start of ChatGPT and Gemini, there was one main difference. ChatGPT is a learning AI, meaning that it has had thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of users using it, inputting data, inputting information into it. It learns from that data and then is able to create its own based on what it has learned. So it kind of can be garbage in, garbage out, if you've heard that saying before. So, as far as using it to look for maybe specific data or correct, accurate information, like maybe a research paper, wasn't actually the best thing to use because of that. Whereas Gemini, it's backed by the Googleverse, as I like to call it, and it can pull data from all of Google. So the way I looked at it was that if I wanted to do research on a topic and needed data, I used Gemini because it could search all of Google. Whereas if I was just looking to be more creative and have like content ideas, I would use ChatGPT. However, more recently, I've been using both. And more recently, ChatGPT has announced or installed more data from the internet. So you can use it for more research now, but I still would just always double check that. I always have both pulled up on my computer. Depending on what I'm looking for, I'll use one or the other. And sometimes I actually will use a prompt, the same prompt in both, just to see what I get, what results both will produce. And sometimes they're very similar, and sometimes they're very different. So you can, I'll give you an example of that later. But I was honestly sitting here looking at what I was going to talk about for this podcast, trying to think, before chat, what did I do? It was kind of scary because I really couldn't remember, which is pretty on brand for me with my perimenopause brain. But I did remember that I probably used Pinterest, and then, when TikTok came around, used TikTok, which obviously I still use both of those things, but chat literally can do so many more things for you. So I absolutely love these. I use it every single day in work. So I want to talk about that with you today. So because I could probably talk about it for hours, I'm going to try to keep this very tailored to how it can benefit you and your business, and maybe a few uses for everyday life as well. Here are the top ways that I use ChatGPT or Gemini. So number one, and I don't think this is any surprise, content creation. Now, content creation is a really broad category, so I'm going to break that down a little. A high level of content creation, just very high level, is just asking for ideas. Now, this is kind of what this would look like. So if you were coming up with ideas for social media posts, let's say you're a social media marketer, this is kind of what it would look like if you asked ChatGPT something. So here's what you could do. You could say, I'm a social media marketer. My target clients are women over 40 that are trendy. They love shopping, anything beauty related. They have older kids or maybe entering the empty nest phase. They struggle with menopause symptoms, feeling confident, and worry about money. Hello, am I actually describing myself? Yes, I am. Anyway, you put that in, and then you can tell Chat or Gemini this info and ask it to give you 3 to 5 ideas for social media posts for Facebook or Instagram that will connect with your target market. That's so flippin' cool and so easy to use it that way. Now, going a bit deeper with content creation, you can ask it to give you topics for blog posts. You can ask it for real ideas. You can even ask it to write hooks for you for specific topics. You can also have it write captions for you. I use it all the time because sometimes my mind is like a one-way street and I just get stuck on a certain way of writing. When I use chat, I don't typically use the exact caption that it gives me, but I can take a portion of it or, what it gives me and kind of take that creative spark, and then I can go from there. So those are just a few things that you can do with ChatGPT and Gemini. If you use the paid version of ChatGPT, you can even upload your brand's voice and it will learn your language, which is really neat. You can give it examples of your marketing materials, your social media posts, your customer interactions for it to learn, and then it will you can fine tune it. And do this by giving it more instructions on your tone of voice, your vocabulary, even specific examples, and it will learn how your brand communicates and start giving you responses in your brand voice. It's really, really cool. This is great for things like email marketing, which we haven't even discussed yet, but writing emails for you in your brand voice is so important. That also brings me to a feature that is really helpful when working with Chat or Gemini, which is when you give it a prompt, and I have some prompts that I'm going to give you, so make sure that you stay until the end for that. You ask for the response to be specific tone of voice. So I might want something that is funny or conversational, or I might want it to be more professional or formal, or maybe I need something that is more empathetic and supportive. And if you ask for that, it can give it to you. Not only can you use ChatGPT and Gemini to give you ideas, you can use it to plan and schedule social media posts, find relevant hashtags, optimize your blogs, and post with keywords. Okay, so that was a lot about content creation and just a few ways you can use ChatGPT and Gemini to make social media easier and running your business more efficient. Now, let's talk about other ways that I've used it that would benefit you as well. I've used them both to help me brainstorm information about my ideal client. I can do it one of 2 ways. I can ask it to ask me questions to determine who my ideal client is, or I can give it all the info like I did in the example above about my ideal client and then ask it to give me their pain points, their solutions for their pain points. And don't worry, I'll give you a prompt on this before we're done. Once I nailed down my ideal client, I also used ChatGPT to write my mission statement and brainstorm my taglines. Like, seriously, this can happen? I don't know if you've been in corporate America, but if you have, do you remember when we sat around a table in an office and did brainstorming sessions? Well, you can do the exact same thing with ChatGPT. It is insane. Another thing that I like to use ChatGPT and Gemini for are things like keyword research. If you aren't familiar with keywords, those are the words that your customer are searching for, whether on Google, on Facebook, and TikTok, on Pinterest, literally everywhere. They are super important, and if you aren't sure what keywords you need to use in your posts, your emails, or websites, then you can use Chat or Gemini to find those. ChatGPT and Gemini will rewrite or reword things for you. If you have a post that did really well, then the smart thing to do is use it again. The trick is Facebook knows if you've posted the exact same content again, so you want to change it up some. You can take that post caption, enter it into ChatGPT, ask it to reword this for you with the same meaning. It will give you an alternate option to use, and then you have another post that should, obviously, I can't guarantee that, but it should perform as well as your original post that you made. If you have a blog post you wrote and you want to write another similar one, you can do the same thing with that. Another great use is taking one piece of content and asking it to make it into other forms for other platforms. For example, this podcast. I can give it my podcast transcript and ask it to make it into a blog post, a social media post for Facebook and Instagram, and even a post I can use on LinkedIn. And pro tip, if you're not actually posting on LinkedIn, you are also missing out. Definitely go do that. And maybe I'll make a podcast on that down the road. Here's some of the things that you can use it for. You can use it to write podcast descriptions, job descriptions, or give it a job description and ask it to write a resume with your specific info, but tailored to that job description. Pretty genius. It can even write legal or compliance documents for you. Of course, you always need to check to make sure what it is giving you is in fact legal. But I've actually used this to write contracts for my clients for social media marketing and virtual assisting services. Let's talk about emails. If you aren't a great copywriter, which I'm not, then chat will be your best friend when it comes to email creation. You can ask for topics, best practices, even ask it to write your email flows for you in your tone of voice and then adjust it as needed. For someone like me that is creative but still needs a little help getting started, this is perfect. It's also a great way to help you write your Instagram or your Facebook bio. Writing or coming up with presentations or projects, you can give it topics, how many pages you need, what you specifically want to be answered, and even tell it to ask you other relevant questions to make sure it understands the assignment. I've actually used it to help me with my 10-day confidence challenge that I'm going to be doing in August. And y'all, recently I just did a proposal to a client for a video that I'm going to be making for them. And I asked it to help me write the video sequence and to put it in a presentation format. And it gave me the outline. It was fantastic. So there's literally so many things that you can do with this to make your life so much easier. There's really no limits to what can be done with ChatGPT or Gemini or AI in general. And the sooner that you embrace that, the more valuable you will be to future employers and to clients. Now, I haven't actually done this, but it also has uses for your personal life. And here are a few that I found. You can, one, use it for personal reminders for appointments, tasks, and events, helping you stay organized, planning date nights. That's actually kind of cool. Actually, send that to your husband. ChatGPT, will you please plan date night for me and my husband? Picking out birthday gifts. I didn't even think of that. That's crazy. Figuring out dinner ideas and making personalized workout plans. Now, let me tell you, those 5 suggestions for personal uses, y'all, I asked ChatGPT what it could be used for personally, and that's what it gave me. This is crazy. I'm telling you, it's so cool. So if those haven't sold you on the fact that you really need to use ChatGPT if you don't already, then think about the other AI that you're using on a daily basis, because you are, and if you don't think you are, you're wrong. It's everywhere. If you've interacted with any chatbots on a website, that's AI. If you have messaged someone, let's say on almost any platform, and you've gotten an immediate response, that's also AI. So, no need to be scared of it. It isn't going to take over the world, at least not yet. Yikes. That's another topic for another day. But no need to be scared of it. Go ahead and embrace it. It's really going to make your life easier. Now, I promised to give you some prompts, so let's get into that now, because honestly, that's the really good stuff. I've curated these to fit my niche, which is women over 40, but you can tweak it to fit your niche or your needs. And if you'd like the full list, send me a message on Instagram at influenceover40, or you can email me at hello@influenceover40.com, and I'll send those over to you. All right, so let's get into that. These are prompts for social selling and Facebook. So here's the first one. You can ask Chat to create 5 engaging Facebook post ideas to promote my skincare products to women over 40. Ask it to write a compelling Facebook post that highlights the benefits of my wellness program for busy moms over 40. Generate a list of 10 questions I can ask in Facebook posts to engage women over 40 interested in health and fitness. Provide 3 examples of Facebook posts that showcase customer testimonials from women over 40 using my products. Suggest content ideas for a week-long Facebook campaign targeting professional women over 40 looking to balance career and health. You can also use it for ideas for reels. You can say, give me 5 creative reel ideas to promote my handmade jewelry business to women over 40. Suggest 5 reel concepts that showcase how my fashion brand caters to style preferences of women over 40. Provide 5 ideas for reels that demonstrate the benefits of my wellness coaching for women over 40. What are 5 reel ideas to share tips and tricks for beauty routines for women over 40? Create 5 reels concepts that highlight the success stories of women over 40 using my business coaching services. So maybe, and if you put one of these in, this is kind of an example of what you're going to get back. Morning skincare routine for radiant skin. Showcase a step-by-step morning skincare routine focusing on hydration, sun protection, and anti-aging products. Highlight products that work well for mature skin and offer quick tips on application techniques. It literally is giving you exactly what you need to film if you were to put that in asking for a real idea. That's so cool. Now, if we were asking it for makeup tips for a flawless look, a real idea for that, it would give you create a reel demonstrating makeup techniques that enhance natural beauty, such as how to apply foundation for a smooth finish, using contouring to define features, and selecting the right shades for mature skin tones. Now, here's another example, nighttime skincare essentials. Highlight the importance of a nighttime skincare routine, including removing makeup, using serums and moisturizing. Share tips on the best products for overnight skin repair and rejuvenation. So it's literally that simple, y'all. Now, you can also use it to find your ideal clients, which this one is probably my favorite. I love these. So I've put these questions in and I'll share these with you. What are 5 questions I should ask to identify my ideal client among women over 40? Number 2, generate 5 tips for finding my ideal client on social media platforms focusing on women over 40. List 5 ways to create a client avatar for my business targeting women over 40. What are 5 strategies to attract and retain my ideal client in the niche market of women over 40? Provide 5 content ideas to appeal to my ideal client, a woman over 40 interested in personal development and growth. Now, to make this more interactive, you can form your prompts to have it ask you questions that you will then answer. And here's one that I like to use. And this is exactly what I type into ChatGPT or Gemini. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to write a social media plan for my business. This will include blog content, Instagram, and Facebook posts, real ideas, and sales emails. Before we begin, I want you to fully understand my business and customers. Ask me 5 to 10 questions or more if you want about my business, customers, audience, and anything else you need in order to complete this task. Once you've given it that prompt and hit enter, you're going to get questions that it's going to ask you, and then you can take those questions, you can highlight, copy them, paste them back in there, and then just go in there and answer all those questions for it. Then it's going to spit out all the information to you, which is going to be a lot. And if you're not completely satisfied with what you receive back, you can always ask it to make adjustments. So a lot of times I will ask it to make an adjustment in maybe the tone of voice that it's given me my response back. So I might say, please do this again, but with an upbeat tone or maybe with more empathy. You can ask it to address a more specific niche, or you can give it your ideal client demographics and ask it to tailor the responses to that group. Y'all, when I tell you there are infinite things that you can do with AI, I am speaking the absolute truth. I am not lying to you. I am here to tell you chat is the way to go. ChatGPT and Gemini. I love both of them. Again, ChatGPT I tend to use more for creative ideas. So I really hope that you dive in today. Go play with those two tools. Let me know what you think. I want to know what maybe your favorite prompts are. And don't forget to grab those prompts and more by sending me a message on Instagram at influenceover40 or email me at hello@influenceover40.com. If you like this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you'd rate, subscribe, and review this podcast. It really helps me push my podcast out to other female entrepreneurs and women over 40 wanting to start a business. I'm so glad you spent this time with me today. Love y'all. Mwah.